Of the explore-exploit trade-off. Basically, it looks like this. There's a very simple mathematical rule, and this actually applies to almost all decisions in life that have things like exploring and exploiting in it. Basically, almost all of them. So, when it comes to, for example, finding a new apartment, the question is, when should you stop looking and then just take something? Because there could always be something just around the corner that is better than everything you ever saw. And here is how it looks. And this is like just based in mathematics. It's just a decision rule, actually, that works. So now, here's the decision rule. Actually, it's more like 28%, but let's just, for God's sake, or for simplicity's sake, say it's 1/3. Therefore, you just take a look, and you just have to fix something like the time. Let's say you have 1 week. Then, what you would do is you would multiply the numbers of the days of a week by 3, basically by 1/3, or it depends how you do the calculation, but just take 1/3 of the days of a week. So therefore 1/3 of the days of a week would be either 2 or 3 days, I guess, because it's kind of uneven and we want to have full days. Therefore, let's just take 3 days as 30%. Now, what happens now? The question, of course, is what do you do now? The thing is, you just explore for 3 days. You just explore. You don't say like, yeah, but I want to get this apartment, and no, you just go in, look at the apartment, and then maybe introduce a rating for yourself. Like, okay, this apartment is a nice location, but it's also $3,000. Therefore, I might not be able to afford it, and therefore, yeah, I don't know. I'm still not deciding because I'm still exploring. Then what happens now is, and this makes it so easy, you just explore, and then explore phase, you just don't exploit. This means you don't decide to do anything about it. But when it now comes to the switch, so after a third of the time you switch, and then you kind of still explore. But the thing is, you just, from now on, take the thing that's better than everything until now. That means the switch from explore to exploit not really happens at 30%, but much more the decision happens that you now take the best thing that has been there so far. So now, that's very easy. It can be applied for anything. If you now, after 3 days, have looked at a few apartments, and then what you do is you just explore more, you just take a look at more apartments, and eventually, after like 4 days, or maybe 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, you just take the best that has been there so far, or the one that is better than everything you experienced in the 30% period. And that's basically how you do the explore-exploit trade-off. And this is, yeah, something very existential, I guess, because with all these things, so it applies to so many things, this is what I'm saying, but there is actually something else connected to it. You have to fix something. So either it's the number of things you actually want to explore, so this could be the number of apartments, or you fix the time. This means you have a fixed thing, because you actually need not restroom, but you need to have a certain amount of things that are still available after 30%, because otherwise you cannot really calculate the 30%. For example, when it comes to looking for an apartment, then a week would be probably good if you have to move out in a week. When it comes to finding out what you want to do with life, then also eventually you will have to just do something, because you cannot explore all the time different things. And this means you just could say, I try 5 different jobs, and then I take the best one that comes after them. So basically what you're doing is, you're saying like, I have 15 jobs in general, and I just do the first 5 when doing the exploring phase, and then after this I just take the best that's coming. And that's how you do the explore-exploit trade-off, explained very simply, I guess.